My name is Max Drake. I want to talk about how to get from a BIM model into a 3D PDF and some of the information that we go and push in there. Here we're in Revit, and this is a building which is an event center, and level 1 has basketball courts and level 2 has facilities, benches and stuff that go with that. So if we just flick that back into 3D, there's our model there. We need to put parameters into this building, and one of the examples here that I will just show some parameters. If we actually have a window there, so that is a family window in Revit, and we have some information on it. It's a window, it's a skylight window, 3000 by 3000, and it's an aluminium window. That's the data that we put in. There is a process of how we put that data in there. I have shown that in other videos. I may give links across to that one here. What I'm trying to demonstrate in this one here is how we actually take this information and put it into a 3D PDF. I have some add-ins, and the one that I actually use is the SimLab PDF exporter. I did actually have the SophiStick 3D PDF exporter, and I actually wrote some macros around that one. I did find it struggled on the bigger models though, but very, very good. Nice one. And the people there were very, very helpful. SimLab are also very, very helpful. This one here, we actually just hit export view, or export current view is the one that I actually do. And it goes wandering off, so I might actually have to pause the video once we've done the setups and shown you some of the things with this. The export current settings, it starts thinking about things. I'm not too worried about the zoom level in here. It's not the same as a 2D PDF because it's creating a model, so it's not creating an image file as in a picture that it's putting on the thing. So we're just going to call this underscore underscore underscore, and so that's the file that it's going to create. So it's just a standard PDF, and we go save. Then the next part of the process, once it goes away and chugs away, starts saying, well, what do you actually want to include? Now, generally, I actually include all these camera points. Generally, I don't bother with the isometrics. I've got a 3D view one, and I've got these ones from here, and I've just say select exported cameras. I could actually just export this one image there, but the other ones set up those views at the beginning, which is quite handy later on to actually go and readjust to actually meet the needs of what I do. While that's going on, I just want to go into the PDF settings and show this one here. You can put a very pretty template on it. I try and go for something very simple so that it's quite clean. The page gives you some background music, which would be seriously irritating, and I wouldn't actually do it. It lets you do some navigation and some other bits here, and the development JavaScript. Now that is one thing which the SophiStick were doing with their 3D PDFs. They were embedding some JavaScript in there, which is quite cool. I haven't really got round to being able to do anything after that, but very good anyway. The other thing which you can do on this one is one I actually did a whole lot of different ones. I in one of the first videos I showed services, and so what I could actually do was actually create them into a different PDF, and then this one here allows you to merge a whole load of PDFs, so it actually just combines a whole lot of PDFs into one particular one. So it's got another thing. This embed is a sort of a iframe inside a web page. Does not work. It doesn't work in any of the things that I've tried with iframe, so don't even bother going there. It's just something that is not working, and it's nothing to do with this particular product. It's to do with the way that the browsers work. Yes, it's going to go off and generate now, so I'll just stop the video for the time being. Pause. Right, okay then, so it's generated a file. I'm now just going to open that file up and stop doing that, you irritating person. And let's just go and edit with Adobe Reader. I don't know why that one's classifying through there. Anyway, what actually happens is it's generated that file, and so we now have the file loading up. If we actually just go and look at that file size, you'll see it's 9.3 megabytes, so reasonable size file, and takes a little while to generate. I'm just going to blow away one of my other large files. Oh, here we are. Wait for the program to respond. It has this one here is 36 megabytes, so it doesn't particularly like asking me something. Ignore that, who cares, don't care. So here we actually have the file coming in. One of the things which I find is that it's generated the camera views up there. If I go into them, there's the camera view, home, whatever home was, is that one there. Okay, I generally just zoom in and set up a view. I tend to go in and do yeah, that's usually where I am, and I will save that as manage views, and I will create a new view with all of those, and I'm just going to call it 3D. So I have one which is zoomed in quite well, and then I just work my way through. I usually go to the top, and we've got some weird orientations on this, so I will go to there, and then I will zoom in a bit further, and then I will just call that view, manage views, new view, and I will say yes, and call that roof plan. Oops. And then rename that one and go there. So 3D we've already got, so we delete that one. I will actually make the 3D use as default. Okay then, and starter view I usually delete as well, and I just go through and work through and zoom these images in. One of the things we can do straight away is we zoomed in on that particular window there, and we select that window. Again, we'll get it selected in a minute. And if we go to that skylight, we actually have data on it. And here we are, it actually says it's a 3000 by 3000 skylight. There's 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one particular one is that one there, and it may have a number on it. It may or may not. So again, that information has come through from the Revit model into our plan. I would then set up sections with using this, and I'll just demonstrate showing this. Cross sections, show the sections, and the other one that I do at the same time with this is I get the cross section properties coming through here. So this one's showing me what I generally do is I do the Z. So that one looks as if it's showing the upper benches. Now you see these pale blue lines, they're actually room boundary ones for showing where the boundary of certain areas are. You can turn those off. I actually haven't done of that, but I can actually save that section there. So we're just going to save that section, and we're going to do that, and we're just going to go, we've done that, save the section. Now I could actually move that up or move that down a bit more. Get down about there. Oh, too far. Now what's happened with that, it's got snitting. The other thing that I do, I don't particularly like the background being that, so I generally make that white myself. Now where's that gone? So there's the roof, and it's gonna disappear. That's a bit naffy. Oh no, there we're just cutting through, so let's just go -10. And that's gone through, and it's coming through into the bottom, so we can actually see the plan on the lower level. Let's just go -15. No, too far, so we just go to the -10, and we have the lower level plan, but it's too far down, so we're just going to go to maybe 8. And you see we have the numbers, the room names on the thing, so that's quite handy. So I'm just going to go 7. There's one in the middle there that doesn't, oh, there he comes. Okay then, so no, but we've suddenly hit the ceilings there, so we're just going to go back to 8. And there we got the plans, and we've got that, and we interfered with the feeling. So we can save section view. So we're going to save all of that, and we're just going to call that, we will actually go through, that's called section view 11. And we go, okay, so we got a plan view, we've got one of the roof, we've got one of the upper floor, we've got one of those. We can actually just check that. We're just going to go to 0, and we have some information here, but we don't have any information there. So what we will do is we'll just go -1. No, 2. And here we've got some information here on the benches, we've got some information there, and we've got information generally on those rooms, but we haven't got any here. A little bit of faffing around with some of those, but we just save that section view and just go yes. Okay then, now we can flick it over to the X direction, and that will then give us a view through our building. There we go. And if we just align in that direction and zoom right in, we then have a section through. So we'll save that section. Okay. And we can maybe make that -10, and we'll see if that takes us anywhere useful. If not, we can adjust and go through other parts of the building. So again, you just choose your sections as to where you want to cut through. So this is at the front of the one, we'll save that section there, yeah, and save there. And then we do it in the Y direction, and we'll just rotate round, and that's showing us, stop doing weird stuff here. We are on that. We want that view through there. Let's just regenerate that and see what that looks like. Maybe a bit more like that. And we'll save the sections there. So that's the way that I actually just develop it. It's not a science, it's just basically what looks good through there. So again, we can save that. So now we can actually save that, and it's updated. So all of these views now, we can just click and they'll go to all the views. I will rename these views that I would do in here. So I would blow away the original ones, because if I go and look at the elevations, well, sorry, that's a bit home view. Yeah, I still have that on. So hide the cross section areas, and that just stops that from coming. So we're back to the original, but you see how it's zoomed out very far. So I would normally zoom in a bit on these. You can use the zoom control as well, just to adjust those in a way, and I would normally keep it to that. That's a sort of handy size. And then I would just manage views, new view. I think that was east, so we just go east. Actually, it looks like west, actually. West LF. Rename. Okay then. And then we would go, and that is actually west, because east has those skylights on them. And that's not quite east, but we can rotate it around. Actually, that is west. The other one was east. That's all right. We can go there, view, manage views, and new view, and okay. And we can call that, what did I say that one? That was west. West LF. And, oh, wait a minute. West L. Rename, and we can go back to that one, and we can rename that East L. Rename. So we have those, and the original ones that we had, we just blow them away. Delete. Then we can actually just take a few of these 3D, and then just come down to there and move up. So the original ones that we had, which we're not using, we just can't delete those after we've actually done them all. So that's what we do, and then we just save the file. So that's the saving of the file. I was thinking about that because it's got to go and do the work. And after it's saved the file, so this is really just pretty, but it's actually making it easier for people to then use these PDFs. we will save that file. Now we have the file. Now the first thing that we can do is just to check it out, is that we can go into the model, we can go and export CSV, whole tree. We didn't need to have done any of this information on, sorry, I'll underscore goes to the top, 111. We need to have done those elevations. We could have done this model tree test just to see that the data that we've got in there is the data we want. So we just kill that for the moment. We go into our Excel macro and say delete all the information, go and import some information, and we need to go to the downloads and we need to find that file. And there he is, and we go, yeehaw, what have we got in there? So rooms, room data, spit it out. It's given us room data. So we have got some mad number sizes just because some of the rooms are absolutely massive. We'll just go into there and we'll filter them and we'll take room number and we'll go smallest to largest. Lots of ones, because how am I going to control which level they're on? For some unknown reason on this particular setup I haven't done it by level. I'd have to think about that. Maybe it's done by services, so maybe I order that in a different way, such that I could work out that. So again, some of our coding may not quite be up to scratch on this one. Not important. We can always go through and redo that information. What Dave's demonstrated here is a lot of data's coming through, and we just need to organize it to what we actually need. So it's not, this is easily changed. You just go back into your model inside Revit and then just suddenly saying, okay, then we've just got to do this by level. And in fact, what we could actually do there is that we could create a parameter called level and make sure that everything's done by level, and then go through. That parameter will then come out and then we can actually filter by that. So it's easy to actually add things to speed up the process. So thank you very much for looking at that. I hope it's been